Hi guys, it's Alicia here, and this is my yoga mat that I just brought home from doing my Bikram yoga session. I try to attend that 3 days a week, and you're probably sitting there wondering, what is Bikram, what is yoga, and why do you look so sweaty? But really, I look this sweaty because I just detoxified myself. I literally feel amazing. I feel energized and rejuvenated, and I will go into a little bit about it as far as how I got here and why I do it. I was approached a few years ago by one of my girlfriends who at the time was suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. And she noticed that I was super stressed out with school and a full-time job and paying my bills and the everyday stressors of life. And so she accosted me saying, hey, I chose yoga and I'm doing it, and it's been incredible for my rheumatoid arthritis. And not only has it helped me alleviate my physical symptoms of it, but it's really helped my mind, body, and soul. It's a holistic approach to addressing all three of those, and I think it'd really help you out if you tried it. So, being apprehensive at first, I did it a few times, and it took me a little while to warm up. I wasn't sure how I felt about it, and sure enough, by like the third and fourth session, I was completely hooked. And, unbeknownst to me at the time, I thought it was a newly implemented practice or something that was trendy that maybe originated in LA and then, started slowly moving up to Northern California or across the nation. And lo and behold, doing this research, I found out a lot of riveting revelations about yoga, in that it dates all the way back to the 5th and 6th century in ancient India. So it's been around for thousands and thousands of years. And I just found that really interesting because when they first generated these ideas as far as this very holistic approach to, really alleviating any inner stressors and bad demons and whatnot, they call it the 5 hoshas. So back in India, the 5 hoshas were your wisdom body, your physical body, your emotional and mental body, your blissful body, and your energy body. So those are the 5 things that they wanted to initially address with yoga back in India. And it slowly then evolved to just mind, body, and spirit. And it's funny because not until they migrated all the way to the West in the 19th and 20th century, and then finally in the late 1980s, is when people really started realizing that yoga is excellent for, your physical well-being. So you're a lot stronger, you're a lot more flexible, your posture highly improves. And it's funny, I started noticing those things that, being in school, you're constantly hunched over on your desk, or you're slumped all the time in lecture, or writing a paper. And, by doing yoga all the time now, I'm practicing these poses and these moves where you have to really go back to your proper, composure and posture. And it's so funny because now that I revert back to these areas, of this rigidness, slumped over, I really try to rectify that now that I've been doing yoga so much that this feels right to me now, and being slumped over all the time doesn't feel right. So it's a great way to rectify all of that improper posture that's really hurting your body in the long run. So with that said, there's a ton of health benefits, preventative and treatment health benefits of yoga. The heart is huge in yoga. It's excellent for the heart. It lowers your blood pressure. It lowers your cholesterol. It lowers your triglyceride levels. It ups your heart rate in a good way. So it's getting that blood flow going, especially if you're doing headstands or handstands. You're getting all that blood flow going to your brain and your lungs. You're oxygenating, and then, essentially bringing all that blood flow through your circulation all through those distal areas of your body, like your hands and your feet. So people, get highly improved blood circulation with yoga. Improves bone health drastically. Wards off any kind of disease such as osteoporosis. You're doing a ton of weight bearing. So a lot of these poses are really hard to hold, but you're, doing it against the own weight of your body. So you're building bone mass, which is excellent. So women that are pre or postmenopausal, in between the ages of like 40 to 60, it's great for that age frame as well. So great for your heart, your bone health. It rebuilds cartilage. So you're working areas that you have cartilage that you would normally never work, but with these certain poses and stances and holds, you're rebuilding a lot of this cartilage that would just kind of waste away and atrophy if not. So it aids in also depression. A lot of people, suffer from emotional distress, depression, but with incorporating new breathing techniques and meditation, it's all of an integral part that, like I said, with mind, body, and soul, you're working on the physical aspects that help your heart and the cartilage, but by meditating and by breathing really deeply, which they really emphasize, you're alleviating a lot of that emotional distress and that depression that most people suffer from these days. So yoga has been great. It also increases the nourishment to your spinal discs. So your spinal discs and your spinal column are all sort of free floating, and the spaces in between those crave movement. So a lot of this bending forward and backwards and twisting that we do, that's obviously providing movement, which thus, nourishes these spinal discs. So you're less prone to rupturing and hurting your spinal column, really. So it's great for all these things. There are a ton of different kinds of yoga. There's Bikram yoga, there's Vinyasa yoga, power, core, Anusara yoga, Ashtanga. I could go on, the list goes on. But they all address different practices and techniques as well. So Bikram is the one that I've recently chosen, that I've newly fallen in love with. They provide a heated room that you go in, and it can be as hot as 110 degrees sometimes. It's pretty stifling. But, you essentially sweat out all of those impurities and you detoxify your system while you do these longer poses and holds. So you're really getting a sense of rebalance, and you're strengthening and toning your muscles. So, it all depends on what suits your needs, but yoga is amazing overall. It remedies a lot of ailments and emotional, states that a lot of us tend to feel in distress at times. And with my girlfriend, it really cured her rheumatoid arthritis. And it's simple. You go in barefoot, you have a mat and maybe a towel, and that's really all you need. It's awesome. So thank you for sharing, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.